Hello students, we will now start with the second module for chapter 2 in human resource planning in hotels and facilities. Well, so far we have covered what is human resource plan, how a plan is made to budget and to work out the demand and supply of manpower. Once the plan is ready, we will now look at job analysis, job description, job specification, and job evaluation in this particular module. Well, now before we understand the various other tools, let's first see what exactly a job is. What is the meaning of the term job? Well, job is a rational set of tasks and responsibilities, almost having the same level of complexity, and is related to a set of function tasks that are to be performed by an individual or employees. Well, a job will be accompanied by a set of tasks or broken down into subtasks. For example, if the job is that of a server, it will entail various tasks like welcoming the guest, seating the guest, handing the menu to the guest, serving water to the guest, taking the order, serving the order, clearance, and so forth. So here we know that job is a generic term to a set of activities or tasks or subtasks which are performed by a particular position. And usually they are generic, they are similar in nature. So all jobs, all tasks which are similar in nature are clubbed together and they in turn constitute the job. Job also entails the duties, responsibilities as well as the supervision and reporting, accountability and the authority that they are reporting to. So I would like to sum up saying that a job is a group of homogeneous tasks related by similarity of function. When it is performed by an employee in exchange of pay or salary, a job consists of duties and responsibilities. They are specific, can be accomplished, are quantified and rated. If you look at a wider perspective, a job is also synonymous with the role, which includes the physical and social aspects of the work environment. Now, when we talk about jobs, it's also seen that many a times people identify themselves with the job or the role they perform. For example, someone who works like a doctor is called a doctor. So your job is moving from an activity, from an active verb to a noun. So people are known as engineers, supervisors, foremen, teachers, and they derive motivation from the uniqueness and the usefulness of the job that they perform. I hope we are clear with the term job. Moving forward, we will come to this word called job analysis. Job analysis is made of two words. One is job, job we've just discussed. And now we will look at the word analysis. Analysis means you're analyzing the job. Whenever the term analysis is there, it means that you have a whole lot of informative data called information. And all this information is analyzed, which means it is observed and studies and a few observations are deducted out of it. Once this is done for a job, it's called job analysis. So, job analysis is the process of determining by observation and by study the very important information related to the nature of a specific job. To elaborate further, the job analysis gives detailed information of each job, describing each task in detail. Job analysis is to understand what the job is all about. It is a planned study of job and job elements, employing a specific technique which is scientific in nature. Job analysis is basically done by experts who study the job. They might incorporate various techniques to study the job. These techniques we will discuss as we go. And then scientifically they come to certain certain analysis. Job analysis is sometimes simply called as just analysis, which means it's a detailed study or examination of something in order to understand more about it. Therefore, job analysis is to understand more about a specific job in order to optimize the job. I'd like to repeat, job analysis is basically done elaborately to understand the job in order to optimize the job that is being performed. Job analysis is a systematic process of collecting complete information required for a job. It is done by a job analyst who's an officer and has been trained to carry out the process. So every job is studied into detail scientifically by a specialized person appointed to do just that, and it's a procedure through which one can determine the duties, the responsibilities of a particular job, the nature for a particular job, the qualities, skills, qualifications, competencies required by an employee to do a particular job. So job analysis helps us to understand what tasks are important and how these tasks should be carried out. Job analysis is the basis for HR activities such as developing various documents like job description, job specification. Job analysis is also used for effective training and selection of employees. It is also the underlying basis on which performance standards and assessments, evaluation of employees is carried out, and thereby the remuneration and compensation plan. So now we know that job analysis is most important. It is the underlying information behind every role which is going to help HR execute various functions. The intention of job analysis is to answer questions like what is the need of a particular job, what are the physical and mental activities that are required for a worker to undertake the job. When is the job to be performed? Where is the job to be performed? How is the job to be performed by the employees? And what are the qualifications and qualities that the employee needs to do the job? So here we finish understanding what job analysis is. Moving further. Well, this particular slide shows us the methods of collection of information for a job analysis. So if I see the diagram here, this particular picture shows that an HR analyst who is doing job analysis for a particular role, how does he get all the information? Well, there are three common methods to get information for job analysis. The first is the observation method. Now, when we say observation method, it's as simply that a person will be a passive onlooker. He will patiently sit through the entire shift day after day after day to just see and note information that is required. As he sees it, he's going to note it down, the various observations that are made pertaining to a job as to, how the employee comes in, what are the various things he does, how he goes about doing it, what are the tools he's using, how he's using those tools and whatnot. So here he is simply observing. The analyst is simply observing what's going on the job. The second method here is the questionnaire method. In this particular method, information of job analysis is collected by means of a survey or a questionnaire. The questionnaire is rotated amongst all the concerned employee doing a particular job role. And then detailed sections are put up which account for various questions pertaining to how they do the job, what tools are required, what qualifications are required, and so forth. The second method of collecting information is the questionnaire method. Third is the interview method. Interview method is not unlike questionnaire which is written. This is a oral uh, a mode of asking information about a particular job. Now here, sometimes you may individually ask employees, or sometimes you may want to do a focus group discussion, which means you would want to get people together and they are asked questions. A group of people may be asked questions pertaining to the job role that they perform. So at a time you will have the same job role. People come together and you will throw your questions at them. But you have to make sure about the preparedness of people, the openness of people to share information in great detail. Whichever method that we are using, either observation or questionnaire survey or interview method with a focus group or individual interview, it is important that job analysis is definitely carried out by a professional HR specialist, a job an analyst, or you could also hire an external body to do that for you. Okay, and it is a very detailed process. There is a whole plan. It is not impromptu. You have to first, the success of job analysis is that you have to have a skeletal as to what are the various things that you're going to find out. So you need to have kind of a checklist in order to come to the information of the job that you're going to analyze. Now here on the other side of the screen, this is the process. This is the process which is to be carried out for job analysis. The first is you have to know who are the sources of your data. So sources of the data is who are the people who will be required to be engaged in order to source the information. So the people who will be involved is the HR analyst, like we've spoken about, the person who is going to analyze the job. You would require the employee and the supervisor. The employee who's doing the role and supervisor, because supervisor will also know about the job, how it's to be carried out, training for it, and the standards for it. Along with the people or sources of the data, what you also require to ascertain is something that we've spoken about here is the various methods by which you will be collecting the data. So here we've spoken about you can interview people, you can do a survey, you can do observation methods or any historic data records that you have within the organization. All this information is studied. So together this and this gives you something which is called the job data. Job data is totally the elaborate data which comprises of all these parameters that are listed. It will talk about the job, the various tasks, the performance standards, the responsibilities, the knowledge and skills required, experience required to do a job, context of the job, the duties of the job, and equipment that is used to be for the job. Now, once you have this elaborate extensive information with you, based on this it is split into two important documents. So this job data, which is the analysis of a job, is then distributed in two types of important documents in HR. So you have one which is the job description, and here you have the job specification. Well, how we split data is job description will have is an important document which is made for every role, or it's a job description is made for every designation or position. It entails the designation name and all the duties, responsibilities and the tasks that are to be carried out by that particular job position. It also mentions the reporting structure, who you will be reporting to and who will be reporting to you. Yes, so that is job description, which is to do, which is a list of the duties to be performed by an individual at a particular position. Second is out of the job analyzed, for that particular job role, one will also come with another document as a byproduct of job analysis. This is called the job specification. Job specification is again an HR document which is made for every position in the organization. It entails in great detail the knowledge, the skill, the ability, physical demand, the trait, the qualifications that are required for that particular job role. So together, job description and job specification are two important output documents which are made available by undertaking a detailed job analysis. Once we have these two documents are most important for the human resource department to go out and do their human resource planning, to do their recruitment, to do selection, to train and develop employees for performance appraisal and compensation. So together, job description and job specification are the two underlying documents for the HR department to carry out its functions. Well, now what are the contents of a job analysis? Given are the contents, so a job analysis will look like this. It will identify the job title, the code if given. So you will have, for example, a job title is Chef de Partie. You will have the significant characteristics of a job. So what are the various traits that are required for you to do that job? What are the duties that will be performed by a CDP? What is the material and equipment that he has to be conversant with in order to carry out the job? How various tasks will be performed by him, and attributes in terms of experience and skills that is required, and the job relationship, which is the reporting structure. So a job analysis we see is entirely detailed study of a particular position of an organization, and each and every position of the organization will have to have a job analysis to be done by a professional analyst in a very scientific. Now that we know what job analysis is, let us see what is the utility of this particular document we are saying is very important. Well, it helps us in manpower planning. It helps us to forecast the demand and the supply, to know how many people, what kind of people are required in the organization. It is required for recruitment and selection. Compensation management. Job re-engineering means restructuring the job. Yes, so when you are trying to restructure the team nomenclature, then it's useful to have a job analysis, training and development, and performance evaluation. It also is very important to carry out the job in a health and safe environment, which means that if a particular job requires a particular use of equipment, which has certain care to be taken, then the HR can implement those safety procedures well in time. So it also helps in the health and safety building environment for a particular job. Now we've already spoken about this, so I'm highlighting here. The job analysis is the main document. It is the parent document. Based on the analysis of the job, we are arriving at the job description and we are arriving at the job specification. In a nutshell, the job description is the list of all duties and responsibilities to be performed by a particular role, and job specification is the list of all qualifications, qualities, skills, knowledge which is to be possessed for that particular role. And both these documents are made from the information that is obtained in the analysis of the job role. Now, job description. Let's see what job description is. Well, a job description is prepared on the basis of the data that is collected through the job analysis. Job description is a functional description, so it entails in detail all the functions that are to be carried out by a particular position. It is the narration of the contents of the job. It explains the duties and the activities that are required to be carried out by a particular job role. It also outlines the relationship of the job with other job, which means it explains who is reporting to this particular role and this particular role will be reporting to whom. Yes, it also entails the equipment and tools that will be used. It elaborates on the supervision of the job role. It entails the working conditions of the job role and hazards of the particular job and so on. So all major categories of job needs to be spelled out in a clear and comprehensive manner in order to determine the next document, which is the job specification. So the job description differentiates one job from the other. To sum it up, a job description is a written statement of what a job holder does, how it is done, and also why it is done. Well, what is the purpose of having a job description? Simply, the first person is a person who's hired for a particular job role. He understands what is expected out of him. He understands clearly what has he been hired for and what are the tasks that he has to perform. In addition, a job description will also help the HR to classify the jobs and grade the jobs. So you have various levels in an organization structure, so job description helps you to do that as well. Furthermore, job description also helps for orientation of employees and placement of new employees in the organization. Job description helps in promotions and transfers. It also helps to outline a career path. So when you talk about succession planning, chalking out the career of their employees, a job description often comes handy. It helps to develop work standards. What are the standards required from a particular role? It helps to quantify that. It also helps to counsel employees. It helps in delimiting authority. It also helps in delegation of authority. So this is job description. The next document that we have understood, which is again derived from job analysis, is called the job specification. Well, a job specification focuses on the person, that is the job holder. The job specification is a statement of the minimum level of qualifications, skills, physical and other abilities, experience, judgment, attributes that are required by the person to be able to perform the given job most effectively. In other words, it is also a statement of the minimum acceptable qualifications that an incumbent must possess to perform a given job. It sets forth the knowledge, skills, and abilities required to do the job effectively. Simply put, a job specification lists down the various competencies. We have seen what is the word competency, which is knowledge, skill, attitude, which is required to be able to do a particular job. It emphasizes on the qualifications that are needed. It lists down the qualities that are needed. It lists down the experience that is needed by a particular person to be able to carry out that particular job. If, for example, if I'm looking to hire a front office assistant for my hotel reception, I will have to outline what is the knowledge that person should possess, skills that person should possess, attitude. So knowledge will be basic knowledge of check-in, check-out. You can list various. Skills would be pleasant personality, communication skills, interpersonal skills. Attitude would be a positive can-do attitude. Qualifications could be graduate in any field. You would want to mention a few qualities like pleasant personality, people's person, friendly nature, extroverted. Experience, it could be a fresher to 1 year of experience and so forth. So each job role will have a job description and a job specification. And this is how it looks when you have the job analysis, the two documents that are made, and the job description. Now, when we talk about the job description, all these are the various details that a job description will reflect or entail. When we talk about job specification, these are a set of all details that will be given out in the specification. I'll give you a minute for you to look at this slide. Well, so far we have studied what is a job, we have studied what is job analysis, and after that we've done job description followed by job specification. Now we are looking at another important technique which is called job evaluation, and this is the last bit before I finish this module. So I would like you all to please pay attention here. Job evaluation. Well, the term job evaluation involves the determination of the relative worth of each job in the organization. When I say relative worth, it means that it's determined mainly on the basis of job description and job specification only. Job evaluation is the process of analyzing each job very systematically in order to understand its relative worth in terms of contribution to the organization. Job evaluation is the basis of determining where that particular position figures or features in the organization in terms of importance to the entire organization's goals. Job evaluation is an assessment of the relative worth of various jobs on the basis of a consistent set of job and personal factors such as qualifications and skills. So how are we evaluating? How are we assessing a job? We are assessing the job on the basis of the job description and on the basis of the job specification. Once we evaluate a job, it will help the HR to determine the salary and the wages that is required to be set for that job. Okay, so the primary objective to undertake a job evaluation is basically compensation management. And this again is done in a systematic manner. So compensation is not random. So job evaluation helps us primarily to understand the relative worth of each job in the organization, based on which you will come and determine the wage and salary required for a particular job role. Now that we know what job evaluation is, well, now that we know what job evaluation is, let's quickly see the job evaluation process. Well, how we have seen here, job analysis is the starting point of job evaluation. Based on the job analysis, we come to the job description and job specification. Based on the job description and specification, you come to the job rating. You're rating the job, you're quantifying the job. Once you have rated the job, then you come to determining the importance or relative worth. When I say worth, means in terms of money. Where does the job stand in the entire organization, and you determine the salary and wages based on which you will classify. Classification employees, grading the employee, or creating various levels in the organization in the hierarchy. Yeah? So here this is the job evaluation process, which starts with the job analysis, includes the JD and JS, comes to rating the job in terms of importance, doing the salary, and creating a structure in the organization. What are the advantages of job evaluation? Well, it is helpful for framing the compensation, remuneration, salary, wages planned by the HR manager. It also helps to reduce inequalities in the salary structure. which means that more or less each structure, each level of the employees is getting a similar scale or bracket of salaries which is predetermined. And this is important because whenever there is inequality in salary, there is bound to be demotivation and grievances. So a job evaluation helps us to equalize the salary structure for a particular level of the organization, and this helps to keep people motivated. It also helps to build the transparency and fairness as far as the remuneration is concerned. It also ensures that internal and external consistency of salary structure exists. Within the organization, there is consistency of salaries. Also, it is a competitive salary which is determined based on the evaluation. And once there is consistency internally and externally about the salaries, people are more or less satisfied. Yes. Now, further on, it also helps in mass management and standardization. Now, what we mean by this is that big companies who have hundreds of people, it's very difficult to define a job and fixed salary for each person. Therefore, you have a grade which is fixed with a scale of the salary. Anyone who joins that particular level will be given that salary. So it's easy to decide salary structure uniformly. It also helps during the selection of employees. At the time of recruitment and selection, you can fairly describe, transparently decide and give out the salary structure benefits to the employees. So it helps in the recruitment and selection process. Moving on, it helps the softer side of the environment or the organization in the environment in the organization. It means that there is harmony between the employees and the managers. The people know what salaries they are getting, why they are getting those salaries. It is all very scientifically calculated and carried out. So there are fewer grievances or controversies related to salary structure. Last but not the least, you have relevance of new jobs. Through job evaluation, one can understand also the relative value of all jobs, especially any new jobs, which come up. It helps you to understand the value of a new job in terms of money, and also helps further in restructuring the organization if required. Well, with this, we come to the conclusion of this module. Today, we looked at the meaning of a job, job analysis, job description, job specification, and job evaluation. I will be sharing a short quiz in the description box as a reflection to today's learning. Thank you and take care.